You've been calling it that for so long. Might as well. It stays.
It was great, man. I was talking to a radio programmer yesterday, in fact, because we're trying to expand it and whatnot. And the one thing about this project is it goes so many different places. It's like a roller coaster. I mean, it does embrace a lot of different genres. And they were keen on, well, we just need to, like, box it in. We need to, in 30 seconds or less, tell me it's original alternative funk jazz fusion. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Okay, that works.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. So we're going to listen to one of the cuts. It's like the first cut on here, and features a good friend of mine also, who's been here to Pittsburgh to perform as well.
Yeah.
Marlon Saunders, one of the leaders of the Jazz Hole, as well as a great artist in his own right. He's a teacher, historian, and this tune is called Just Think. Sound Doctrine here on WRCT Pittsburgh. And you can give us a call while we're playing the record. Our number here is area code 412-621-9728. That's right. Let's give the world love.
LOVE, baby.
That's what we're talking about. Tell them, preacher.
Yeah.
Reverend Jerry.
Don't let me take no text up in here, man.
I know. Well, you are a minister.
I am, yes. Yes, I am a minister of the gospel.
But he's a minister. That's why he took, he had the associate pastor this morning.
Right.
Take over.
Well, I'm not the pastor of the church. Well, but I'm just a minister.
Yeah, but he's a minister.
And some time ago I used to be a youth pastor at our former church, and my wife and I have been worshiping at Victory Christian Center in Coatesville, Ohio. And for 5 years now, so it's just, blessed to be a part of it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the real story.
That's it.
All right.
That's who I is.
Yeah. So that's why we've always connected, The time that he was at the Soul Patrol convention, that's around the time my dad had passed away.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to make it to Philadelphia for that.
Yeah, right.
But you ended up you were the music director.
Yeah.
For the whole thing. So all these different artists that were performing, you the guys performed like the backdrop, the musical backdrop for all of them. Now tell them about some of the different people that played at the Soul Patrol.
Wow, of course it was Marlon.
We have Marlon Saunders.
Gordon Chambers. Nadir from Distorted Soul. Sonny Boy.
Right.
Daryl Looney, Fat Funk Click. Janetta's Vendetta. Oh my goodness. Norman Connors? Am I saying that? Not Norman Connors, but not Michael Henderson. Yeah, You Are My Starship.
Michael Henderson.
Yeah. And we got rained out when Michael came up, man. We were into the second song, and he got rained out. And please forgive me, but I can't think of all of the other beautiful artists that were up there. It was just so many. Wait a minute. Graves, Traciana Graves.
Yeah.
What's my brother's name? Can't think of my man's name with the band. They're out of New York. It'll come to me. I'm getting old.
Maybe Bob's listening. He could.
Yeah, Bob, come on.
I know you're probably listening to the radio.
And call, brother. But and by the way, man, much love to Bob Davis. We're starting a campaign with them in the second week of November. That's going to run through Christmas, man. So Bob is. He's just
Patrol.
On Soul Patrol. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a real good thing. But yeah, we had to put together all of this music for these artists, man, who were just great. It was a wonderful time. It really was. It was a blessing to be a part of it. And I don't know. It's something I may have to do again one day. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But it was a good day.
Perhaps I could be on hand and help out on that whole thing.
Carlton J. Smith, another one. And that's how I hooked up with Carlton. Yeah. And he's on this project, Inspired Project as well. Right. But they call him Soul Brother Number New. For good reason, because he really puts it down, man. And I was telling you while this song was going on how Carlton is just like a one-take wonder, man. It's like, man, we had a hard time keeping up with him because you give him some lines, he's going to deliver them, pow, 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 done. And it's like, oh, it's on us again? So he's a beautiful brother, very professional, and has been just ripping China apart.
Yeah. For a while, yeah, because I send him emails sometimes. He's like, Kev, I'm in Shanghai.
Right. Wonderful band, tight band, and it's just, he's just doing his thing, man, But all of them, and I'm grateful that each one of them said when we put this together, they were like, yeah, man, I'll play on your hit. It's wonderful. And I'm looking for returns like Marlon and I actually wrote this tune together, the one that just went off, I just think. And, you know, I probably would have never been able to accomplish this with any other musician because Marlon knows theory, he knows jazz, and we wrote this tune in 9. And to be able to try to craft an R&B cut in a time signature of 9/8, you know, you need a brother who knows what he's doing, and he put it out.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the other projects. The project previous to this one.
Endurance.
Endurance.
Yeah. Endurance was interesting. It was a different project because it was all instrumental, and Endurance was more of a band project. Inspire is more of a production in a sense, like I said, with that collaboration with all of these people. But we had established a core for playing together so long. Jim Kokenauer, who's gone on to do great solo work himself, 10 songs on the Weather Channel from Jim Kokenauer. Phil the Beat on bass, Keith McKelly on sax, Cliff Barnes on keys, and Paul Dowds. And that was an album that we just went down to the studio in Chillicothe, Ohio, recording workshop, and we just pretty much just put it down. And so that was a different sound, you know. And the album really, it was called Endurance. It really has a lot of endurance because people are still asking about that. In fact, some people were kind of weirded out that, you know, when they got Inspire, our core audience, because they wanted Endurance 2. They wanted the sequel. But we are always about exploration, experimentation. That's what fusion is. And it's just like, well, we did that. That project is going to stand on its own, but let's see what else is out there, you know. But Endurance is still going strong. I'm grateful for it.
You know, coming up, who are some of your influences in music?
Oh my gosh, everybody, man. I mean that very sincerely. My stepfather, early in the game, I got to be like 6 years old, you know, when I'm just beating on stuff, and they decided we're going to get this cat a drum set because we're tired of him ripping up the furniture, you know, and they pulled in the drum set. But my stepfather, he had been in the military, and he had traveled all over the United States and abroad, overseas and whatnot, and he had exposed himself to all of this stuff, man. And back in the day of vinyl, I see all these turntables sitting here, but you know, you had the record player where you stack 6 or 7 records on each other.
Right, with the record changer.
With the record changer. And he would play literally, I knew at 6 years old the difference between Conway Twitty and Loretta Lynn, Freddie Fender, Funkadelic, okay, Hair, the Broadway musical to Hair, Brass Construction. I mean, he would have all of that like on the changer. Then my uncle, who last year on Endurance, or when we put Endurance out, Chai T was dedicated to his memory because he was the jazz cat. So I go up my Uncle Junior's house, George Benson, the Crusaders, Wes Montgomery, Herbie Hancock. And then I would go and hang out with my cousins on the north side, and they were all about Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it was like, man, you gotta get all of this.
And then you came up at a time where the Ohio funk scene was like, woo. You know, and all those different bands from Ohio,
That's
man.
Right. That's
from Akron and Cleveland and
Lakeside.
And,
you got
and
Zap.
Bootsy and his brother down in Cincinnati and all this.
All that noise. Yeah. So it was just it was a potpourri, and I've grown up with that, and it's in me, and I guess that's why some of the Sound Doctrine projects can be kind of weird or genre bending, because I don't know how to stick to one format.
Which is simply good music.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, but, you know, we're so regimented, and you know this in radio, there's segmentation, you know, and there's you have to fit in this box or we won't play you, you know, and I'm not going to knock on smooth jazz. I'm not going to knock on it. Many brothers are doing it, sisters are doing it because that's the format and they need to buy groceries. You understand what I mean? But, you know, after a point, it gets to be like after the 4th song, it's like somebody needs to do something else. You got to throw another influence in there. You got to take a twist or a turn, and that's something that Sound Doctrine tries to do all the time.